I appreciate what you're doing out there, for real, for real.
Nah, bro, nah. It's got to be done, bro. It's got to be done. You know, I get so many messages every day. People telling me like I meet people who cry real tears, like just knowing, not telling me, just knowing that me and the team exists gave them hope because, you know, it's said that 41% of women experience interdating violence, which is crazy work. You feel me? So it's kind of like, you know, I meet with rape victims all the time, man. That pain in their eyes is like, man, you know, I'm going to say something right now. One of the biggest dangers to this business is the fact that uh, oftentimes ladies will save their money so they can get some form of retribution,
Right.
right? And I'll say probably in 90% of those cases, once they discover that this service works, they usually have another situation and they instantly increase the level of violence they want done. That's probably the downside to this because, you know, you can see it in their eyes. Like when their eyebrows stand up and right hand between it wrinkle up a little bit and they might perspire a little bit. You may see a little shininess at the hairline. That's a telltale sign that somebody is experiencing a adrenaline rush or euphoric moment thinking about violence against themselves or somebody else. So I'm seeing a lot of that going on right now. So it's kind of like I'm trying to keep a low profile best I can, but you know I'm gonna continue living my purpose, bro. I feel like it's what I was supposed to do, and it's working for me and it's working for others. So whatever it's gonna be, it's gonna be straight up.
Mm. I want to ask you about another subject. The dancing boys of Afghanistan.
Whoo! All right. Now, peep this, bro. I want to speak about this because this is why the deep state Democrats had to get out of power. Check this out. Two special forces guys are in Afghanistan training Afghan police and military, right? One of the sergeants kidnaps a boy from a village, rapes the boy for days at a time. Two special forces soldiers catch him, confront him, kick his ass. They get arrested, locked up in the brig, and almost lose their whole military career, risk getting dishonorably discharged with no benefits because they interfere with local practices and customs. The dancing boys of Afghanistan is something that needs to be outlawed. The the ramifications, the circumstances need to be raised. You feel me? The consequences need to be firing squad because, bro, the soldiers tell these constant stories of these old guys with these little boys. Then we seen people in political groups going over there to Afghanistan for these meetings, and then hiring some of the dancing boys themselves.
Bro.
Why are we seeing this over and over and over? Something needs to be done about it. Put this into perspective. They found up to 100 boys in these harems where these guys who claim that they practice Islam are participating in child rape. Where is that in the Quran? So I feel like, you know, we got to start having more accountability to these religious leaders. especially misinterpreting and changing religious rhetorics to fit their need for the use of control and oppression. I think it's all evil. I think it all boils down to these same little few entities we always hear about: Baal and Satan and the devil and demons. Because why is it that in the Bible, when these creatures are around, they say there's a sulfuric smell? In the Virginia case in South America, when those people said they seen a certain type of creature and the creature was captured by military, it gave off a sulfuric smell. So somebody has figured out how to cross over between this reality and another reality, coming over into ours and then manipulating our timeline and manipulating the shit that we got going on, bro. Everybody that we see and look at is not a flesh and blood human being like us. You feel me? That's a pure, pure, cold cut fucking fact. And that's on my granny, folks' grave. It's
Man.
it's actual evil forces walking around looking like they human beings, bro. Like we hear about it. I've had experiences. A lot of people that I speak to when I go and investigate, they've had experiences. And the only way that we gonna stand a chance is we call this stuff out. We have to call it out. We gotta hold whoever is responsible accountable, man, straight up.
Right.
Because the whole dancing boy thing, like, bro, this is blatant child rape. And it's almost as if somebody is benefiting off this on like a spiritual aspect level. You feel me? Because you hear about the shadow people, man. You
Yeah,
got,
and
you
I've
got
seen war stories, and people going over to Afghanistan, and they telling them, "Hey, we just can't intervene," and I'm like, "Bro, what?"
not being able to intervene is crazy, but you can drop a missile on a hospital. Like, what you mean you can't? Like, what do you mean you cannot intervene? Y'all literally over here intervening. They said they had weapons of mass destruction. So they went to intervene in the land. But when it comes to protecting children, you can't intervene. That sounds evil to me. It seems as if the trafficking of human beings and humans being used as a resource is probably too powerful because Church of Scientology helped get some of these people elected. What are they? The biggest trafficking organization that exists. People join the Church of Scientology, they live for free, but they work the rest of their life for this company without getting paid. That is trafficking. But how do they get protected? Religious statutes protect them as a religion. So they making billions every year because they have a free literal labor force. And then people pay to join this religion and then you work for free for the rest of your life. Bullshit. That's bullshit. Oh
Right.
man. Uphill battle, Rook. It's an uphill battle for sure.
Thanks.
Real life.